Hello everybody, welcome. Today I want to show you how to do this pattern. It's a pattern that has been on the books for many years, and it's usually done with the river. But in this case we're going to do it only with the main bed, just because some people don't have rivers, don't want to use the river, or they don't like to use the river. So today we're just going to concentrate on the main bed. It has to be done with groups of odd numbers, needles, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, so on and so forth. And the rows, it can be done with any amount of rows that you like. Depends on how big, how small you want your pattern to be. So when you do your piece, your garment, you have to do multiples of the amount of group, or the amount of stitches that you use on the group. On this case, I did it every 13 stitches. And when I say it has to be done with odd number, it's because we're going to be transferring the first and the last stitch of the group, and then every other stitch. If it's even numbers, you will end with 2 stitches on one side, either the left or the right. And when you do your next pattern, because it's going to be moved over, if you have one extra stitch, your pattern is going to be off center. So doing it this way, all your patterns will be cohesive and the same size. So like I said, it has to be done with odd numbers. So when you do your garment, your piece that you're gonna do, you're gonna do the multiples of the amount of stitches that you use on your group, plus 1 stitch on each side. The reason of that is because, like I said, you're gonna be transferring the first stitch of the group. If you don't have 1 extra stitch, when you transfer, you will basically decreasing 1 stitch, and your piece is gonna be wavy. It's gonna be, in and out. Or if you don't transfer the first the first stitch, then you will end with 2 stitches on this side. So again, your pattern is going to be off center. So that's the only reason. So you will need 1 extra stitch, and that extra stitch is good. So because if you're going to do a cardigan, a pullover, or whatever, you have somewhere to sew. You can use that edge to sew together the piece. So I'll show you how to, forgot to tell you, it can be done in 2 ways. If you leave the stitch out of work, when you transfer, you will gonna create like a checkerboard pattern. It's a little more subtle. You don't see it as much, but it's still pretty. So that's just leaving the stitch out of work. The other way, the stitch is back to work after it gets transferred. So again, like I said, it needs to be done on groups of odd numbers. I did it every 13 stitches, so I have 39 stitches for the patterns, which is going to create 3 patterns, plus 1 on each side. So you're gonna center, because it's 13, so I need 6 on one side of the 0, 7 on the other side of the 0, and that's 13. Okay, so you're gonna transfer the first stitch, and then every other stitch from the 6 to the 7. So if you notice, there will be 6 stitches working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same as here. See, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, okay, once that you transfer them, you will bring the stitches back to working position, and you're gonna knit as many rows as you like. You can start the pattern right from the beginning, or you can do a couple of rows or whatever you want. If you want to have a river or a border, then you can do it afterwards. Or you can start with the border and then start the pattern. I just did it this way so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So basically I had started before, so you can see, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So once that you bring your empty needles back to work, you're gonna knit as many rows as you want. I'm gonna do it 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I forgot to mention that it can be done on any kind of machine. Fine gauge, standard, mid gauge, bulky, any kind of machine. Depends on your yarn that you're gonna be using and how big and how thin or how thick you want your piece. So you're gonna use the machine that you like the best. Okay, so once that we have your 12 rows, we're gonna drop exactly the same stitch that we transfer where the hole is. The reason that we transfer this stitch, it's because when we drop this stitch, it will stop right there. See? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you pull on the custom comb or just stick your fingers, the stitches are gonna run. I'm just gonna pull. See? And the stitches are gonna stop right where the transfer was. Okay, and here you can just bring your stitches back to work, or you can fill the empty needle with this from the stitch below. It's up to you. I'm gonna do it both ways so you can see the difference. So we get it from the back, it's easier. See? So you stick your transfer tool on the stitch below from behind the bar. We're only gonna do with the 5 on the center, because this one and this one, we're gonna transfer this stitch there. See? Now we're gonna do again every other stitch. Okay. Now you can, now on the other side as well. Okay, now if you count, you will see that there is 6 stitches working on each side. 2, 4, 6, and 7 out of work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? And on the center, from here to here, you should have 13 stitches. If you don't, then you probably lost 1 stitch somewhere, but I doubt it that you will. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. There we go. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 arrow work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me shut this off. Okay, so we're gonna work again 12 rows. See? And again, we're gonna drop the same stitches where the hole, the eyelet or the hole, whatever you wanna call it, it's this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Same as the others on the other side. So it's the second needle inwards, the fourth stitch inwards, 6, the 8, the 10, the 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that one. So again, we pull. And we pull on the other side as well. So there you have it. Now, again, the first stitch from the center, from the solid group, it gets transferred on each side. And then you can just bring the other ones back to work. And then from here, we're gonna transfer every other stitch. Again. There you go. So there should be 6 working, 2, 4, 6, and 7 empty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So on this time, I'm not gonna refill the needle. Well, I'll do it on one side, and on the other, I'm just gonna let the carriage pick up the needles, so you can see the difference. And again, 12 rows. Okay, and again, we're gonna drop the stitches where the eyelet is and pull. And you see, that's all it is. So after you finish your piece, as big as small as you want or you need, you just bind off, and that's it. So let me see if I can get this so I can show you how does it look. See? And oh, I'm sorry, that guy. You see, just picking up the stitches, leaving the stitches, just letting the carriage pick them up, you will end with eyelets. And if you fill the empty needles with the row below the last row, you will end with that. So it's up to you, whatever you like the best. So hope you like it. Oh, well, I dropped 2 stitches, but that's okay. I can pick them up and bind off. So here it is of the machine, bind off. Sorry, I had it upside down. So once that you press it, it will create a very cool pattern. So I hope you like it. I hope you can use it. If there is any doubts or you have a question, please feel free to contact me and I'll be glad to try to respond. Thank you for watching and hope to see you soon. Thank you.